With everyone talking about being underpaid in the circus industry, here is what you really need to know. There are actually only 3 things that determine how much you can charge for your circus act. And the last one might surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear picture of where you are with your pricing right now. But that's not all. You'll also walk away with actionable steps to confidently increase your prices and to attract the clients that are happy to pay a premium for your value. By focusing on these 3 factors very, very intentionally and strategically, my clients are raising their day fees from 400 to 800, or in the case of my client Kasia, she negotiated a contract for 4,000 euro a day, and then, you will not believe this, she got actually paid 6,000 as a surprise. For context, I teach circus professionals just like you from all over the world how to market and sell their work with a lot of skill and a lot of confidence. And trust me, it's actually much easier than circus. And if this is something that you want help with, that you're struggling with, I would love to talk to you. There's a link below this video to talk to me directly. Factor number 1 is your confidence. Confidence attracts people.
Well, you do seem confident, and confidence is key.
Right? Have you ever noticed that when someone is just so naturally confident in their skin that you cannot help yourself but being drawn to them or look at them or listen to them? And the second thing is, when you're confident in your skin, then it also shows potential clients or potential bookers that you're competent in the thing that you do. And I'm not talking about this like braggy, sticky, disgusting confidence. Let me explain. So since we're talking about pricing, you need to know that pricing is part of sales. And sales is very much, and hear me out on this, is very much like dating. Because you sit across the table from someone with a booker and you want to close a deal, right? And it's the same when you go on a date. Let's pretend someone goes on a date and they sit across the table from the other person and they start with this. They go, I'm really, really successful. I'm also the best at what I do. I know a lot of famous people. I know them personally. I'm also on a lot of TV shows because I'm really, really beautiful. Like, really beautiful. And I have a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. I'm really, really rich. And I got a really cool house. You should come over and check it out sometime.
She's a 10.
I mean, would you go on a second date with that person? You're probably like, yeah, man, that person has money. But still, would you go on a second date with that person? I certainly wouldn't. It's really like, ugh, it's sticky, it's icky. And it's the same in circus. Like, let's imagine you bring this type of confidence to the table and you're like, man, I'm the best circus artist. Actually, in my field, I'm like the best of them all, like that there has ever been. I have a lot of awards, and I know all the producers, like, we're mates. You know, I'm like them, I work with them, and I'm also like, you have probably seen me a lot on TV because I'm really, really beautiful and I'm really skilled and talented. Like, I have the most talent of everyone, actually. So also, I'm a bank with what I do, so I know not many people do that, but I do. And got a really cool house. You should come and check it out sometime. Yeah, and last thing, the audience, they love me. Like, they're obsessed with me. You should come to a show and see it for yourself, how it feels to be obsessed with me. I mean, seriously. I mean, I went a little bit extreme here. No one actually does this. But that's not the type of confidence we're talking about. As you see, if it's in dating not okay, why would it be okay in circus or in business? And I can already hear you thinking like, Ulrike, literally confidence is in the minus. I have no confidence, but here's a really cool thing. How do you actually do confidence that doesn't suck and that is genuine? And here's the thing, it's very easy. You connect with your why, because if you learn how to connect with your why and you have this underlying purpose, belief, cause under the thing that you do, it fundamentally changes how you price and value your work. So that person sits down again across the table from a person on a date, and that person goes like this: I am the luckiest person alive. Like, I get to do what I love the most every single day. I cannot believe this. And the crazy thing is I am actually really successful with it. So that allowed me to make a lot of money with it. And you know, it also opens so many doors. I am meeting famous people that I would never have met otherwise, and they're amazing. I'm a lot on TV because I'm good looking. These opportunities mean everything to me. And I managed to buy a beautiful home for myself. You should come and check it out sometime. You can say all those same things, But now it's the tangible result of your why and not the reason someone actually buys or books you, because people buy into the cause, they buy into your why. So in other words, it means you want to share what you are about so your clients and customers and audience can align with your cause, with your why, with your deeper purpose behind the thing that you do. So share. Tell us, why do you do what you do? Why is it worth the sweat, blood, money, time? And why is it worth sticking around for you? What are you here to say with your work? Is it just so you don't have to do a 9 to 5? And here's the thing, if you don't know your why, then you maybe gotta ask, starting yourself some hard questions. Like, why are you doing it? Is it really that difficult and you really don't like it?
Why are you doing this?
Because if you don't love what you do, no one else will. And that means, in results, if you don't love what you do, no one else will love it. And that means no one else will pay anything for your services. But to sit across the table and tell someone, hey, this is why I love this career. This is why I'm in it for the long run. And then you tell them all the things that you have created as proof of that. All your acts, all your shows, everything that you create is living proof of your why. But we don't do that in Circus. In Circus, most of us just ask to get booked. Sell, sell, sell. You know, I want work, I want work, I want work. And we forget that relationships, like no matter in business or in Circus or in your private life, are actually all made of the same things. If you resonate with this, I would love to know. Comment the word love below in the comment section. Factor number 2 is social proof. So this is probably one of the most important factors of making your entire career successful. So listen in. This is the thing. Every circus performer should, and I don't use the word should very frequently, but in this case, it's really required. Every circus performer should thrive to build more and more social proof all the time. Social proof is the thing that other people use, potential clients, your audience, your community, your industry, use as evidence that you are actually as good as you say that you are. Let me ask you this, or actually ask yourself this question right now. Do you have stacks and stacks and stacks and references and evidence that you are actually as good as you say that you are? And you might be saying, okay, why should I prove this to anyone? Because that's how business works. We want to work with people that we know, like, and trust. Trust comes from social proof. I want to put money on the table for you, my money, my trust, you exposing your work to my audience, if I know I can trust you. And I know this by doing background checks and by seeing all the things that you have done previously. Do you have press mentions or really positive audience reviews that you can share with potential customers? Do you have some sort of titles, world records? Did you do festivals? Have you maybe worked in like really renowned name in your industry? If not, guess what? You can start collecting your social proof right now. And let me tell you something, please never ever stop. Because you can never ever have enough social proof for your circus career. It's like the currency that people use. The more currency you have, the more likely you're gonna get booked. My website, my social media, my email marketing is packed with social proof. And you wanna know why I have so much social proof? It didn't happen by accident. It's because I asked for it and I followed up and I made sure that I got all the social proof that I needed. Because if you don't ask, they won't share. And here's another little hint. If you don't strategically target places that will give you the right evidence, the right social proof for where you want to go, then you're never going to do it. So why do corporate clients, for example, book my act over a lot of other similar acts to me? It's because I have a TV reel. That means I strategically targeted TV shows in the beginning of my career to have a show reel that is specifically only with TV footage. And I've sent that to corporate clients because I know that's what they value. That's what they need to see to have trust in me to be the best option from all the options that they're looking at. And here's one thing I want you to remember. Not every social proof is for you. It really needs to be relevant to where you want to go. So make sure that you get the social proof that will actually serve you. Now, if you were just starting your career and you're like, Ulrike, this is really cool that you have so much social proof, good for you. And you're like, I don't have any social proof yet. And I want you to underscore that. You don't have social proof yet. You gotta start somewhere. It's really okay. I mean, I certainly started with any social proof. My first social proof was like, I think I had a couple of pictures on my phone from like an illegal cabaret in Berlin that got actually busted by the police. Very proud of that. Then the second one was, I think, my friend's birthday party. And the next one was an open stage, which felt like I actually worked at Cirque du Soleil. You just want to start building up, and don't underestimate that volume of social proof, especially in the beginning of your career, does the job. So if you're in the beginning, just start stacking up whatever you can find. And because of the volume, other people will trust you more. And then with time, you get better and better social proof. Now that you know how vital this is to the success of your career, you need to start focusing on it right now, like now.
Now or never.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to capture, screenshot, screen record every single freaking snippet that you can find. That could be an audience member that recorded something on a story, screen record it on your phone. Take screenshots of any show that posted about you, and save anything that anyone ever sends to you. Even if it's not like the most amazing thing, just start saving it. Now, this is one of the most important skills you can develop in your career, which is making friends with photographers and videographers on the event or show or contract that you're working. Here's the thing. When you are in a show and there is a photographer or videographer and the event planners, in an ideal world, you would want that after the show they took some beautiful pictures, that they send them to you, right? So you have them in high quality, you can share them. But in reality, once you start in an event or in a show, the mind of the producer is already on the next event. Once the curtain closes, you are not relevant anymore. You go to accounting team, you get paid, that's it. Bye-bye, Felicia.
Adiós, señora.
Adios.
What you want to do, and I learned this the hard way, some pictures that were literally the most incredible pictures that I've ever seen of myself, I never got my hands on it because I waited too long and I didn't make friends with the photographers on the events. So, action step for you. I want you to, every event that you go, every event that you work in, every show that you work in, make friends and exchange your personal details with the media team or with anyone that's working in the social proof corner, basically. And then you can ask them after the show to send it to you, and all you need to do then is to ask the producer, like, hey, do I have permission for the photographer to send it to me directly, so they don't have to deal with it. Great way of actually serving them at the highest level as well. If that is not the case, that you didn't manage to connect with the photographer, it happens quite a lot, then you want to send the day after the event an email requesting the material. Because the longer you wait, the lower the chances is that you're ever going to get it. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to follow up. There has sometimes been 4, 5, 6 emails until I actually got my material. Because I had so many friends asking me, or cast members asking me, why do you always get the material of all the shows? Like, I was literally, I don't know what the name for this is in English, like when you're like a hoarder. I would not give up. That's what I want you to do. I want you to not give up until you have the material that you need. And lastly, here is a very common question that I get from students inside my Selling Circus program. They ask, is it okay to share social proof that is not my direct client? Meaning, you have maybe worked through an agency with a very fancy name. Let's say you worked through an entertainment agency with, I don't know, Prada, yeah? And this name is relevant for your industry, and it would be a great piece of social proof saying you work with them. What you can do is you can use the end client name. Even Prada didn't book you directly, you can still use them for social proof. Because here's the thing, most of the time, agencies are not really social proof unless they're like, oh, I don't know, I cannot think of an agency that would be relevant for this. But it's absolutely fine to use the end client as a form of social proof. If you're not sure, you can always ask your agency and say like, hey, is it okay if I use the name of the end client to endorse myself on my website or on my social media? And so far, I never had a problem with it. But if you're unsure, just make sure you ask. No matter how you do it, I need you to start building this asset library of social proof and start using it really consistently in all your marketing, like on your website, in your social media, and in your emails. And if you need help with this, I'd love to support you. There's a link below this video where you can speak with me directly. Now, the last factor that is determining how much you can charge for your circus act is positioning. Meaning, how are you positioning your offer? Or in other words, what is your niche? Have you chosen a niche yet? Is what you're offering super specific? Are you catering to a specific problem or to a specific area of the market? Are you solving a real problem or serving to a very specific need? Or are you trying to be mainstream and vanilla and trying to get booked by everyone? Remember, the more generic and general your offer is, the less value it's perceived to have, aka lower prices.
Don't be cheap.
And you may not like that fact, but it's true. And here is why this fact is probably surprising to you, because it requires you to serve less people. It requires you to do less of everything. And I find, at least from my experience, that doing less usually meant for me getting less. I was so used to having to do everything for everyone and wanting to be everything for everyone that the idea of being specific and doing one thing only or catering to one area of the market made me feel like I'm missing out on all the rest. But it's actually the opposite. Let me explain. Here's a little story. A marketing professor asked his students this: if you were to open a cupcake stand and you would have only one advantage over your competitors, which one would it be? And the students started shouting into the room. They were like, location, taste, best price, quality, until they eventually ran out of answers and the room fell quiet. They looked at the professor and waited for him to answer. And then the professor just stood there and smiled. And then he said this: a starving crowd. So you could have the worst cupcakes, the most terrible processes, mediocre taste, and really high prices. But if you are opening a cupcake stand on a Sunday afternoon on a flea market in Berlin and you're the only cupcake stand in that flea market, you're going to sell out. That's the value of a starving crowd, aka your positioning. Sometimes the secret to increasing your prices is not to fiddle with your offer and to change your offer, but it is really about knowing where to find your starving crowd. Does this make sense to you? I want you to stand in your confidence. I want you to stack that social proof and really start dialing in that positioning of yours. Because if you start dialing in all those factors, soon you're going to be able to increase your prices as well. I promise you that. And once again, the best part about these three factors is that they're all in your control. And if you want help to strategically increase your prices to a point where it really feels right for you, and of course also finding and attracting the clients that are happy to pay a premium for your value, there's a link below this video to speak to me directly. I would love to help. Now that you know how to raise your prices, you're going to be obsessed with this video. It's all about how to write emails that producers open and reply to. Because let's be honest, there are no prices to rise if you don't have any clients. So go ahead and watch that video right now. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and the bell thing somewhere here. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.